Welcome to Identity Matters with Dr. Kathleen Perry. Join in to explore one of life's big questions. Who am I really? The Identity Matters podcast will show you that you are and always have been innately whole and worthy just as you are. So slow down, relax, and enjoy the show.
I'm your host, Dr. Kathleen Perry. Today's episode is going to be about the voice in your head. And just a quick, gentle reminder, we're not here to try to change anything, fix anything, figure anything out, or adopt a new belief system or paradigm. We're here to explore. So I hope you just listen and feel into what's being said here. Notice if it resonates with you. If it doesn't, let it go. I suspect there'll be quite a few things that resonate for you. And just be with that. Not as a belief, but just as a felt sense. So let's dive in. We're all familiar with a voice in our heads because it's been there for a long time. It's there, it seems like, all the time and has been there forever, it seems like. So it feels a lot like us. And that voice can be really chatty, really busy, really revved up, really fast at times. You know, it can be repetitive, sort of like circling the drain, saying the same thing over and over and over, rehashing something that happened. It, I think, is trying to help us, but it does it by reviewing the past and telling you what you did wrong and what you should have done better. It will also project out into the future, things that might go wrong, things you need to be prepared for, all in an attempt to help. But that noisy mess, sometimes messy voice in our head isn't always helpful. So we're very familiar with it, right? And what I want to say here is that what we can do is practice noticing that thinking is happening without really giving a lot of attention to the content of the thinking, what the thoughts are. Just notice that it's there. And I have an example of this that really was profound for me, was really just settling to my nervous system. So recently, I cooked a nice meal. Actually, it was Christmas Day, and my 87-year-old mother and her 91-year-old boyfriend were here. And it was just a lovely meal. And at one point, I was just saying, wow, you know, my mom's not living with me, she's living with you, and you've done such an amazing job being her partner, companion, and caregiver, and I'm so grateful. And at one point, he said very matter-of-factly, well, if it weren't for me, I doubt your mother would still be here. And I noticed a thought arise. Oh, that's probably true. If it wasn't for him, I certainly wouldn't be doing everything he's doing, and maybe she wouldn't be here. But it landed for me, that thought landed for me just really neutral. It wasn't triggering. I didn't find myself, adding thought upon thought as often can happen. I saw it just as a thought. I saw what he said as his thought. And so as I noticed that, it could just be thinking. Nobody could prove that any of it was true. And it didn't have to be believed. And we continued to have a lovely, lovely dinner. Really, really profound for me. And so what I want to say to you is that if we can approach thinking that way, with noticing, everything can change. And noticing is always here. That awareness, that's our true nature. That's what we are. And so the ability to notice never changes. That's been with us forever. That awareness, that spaciousness. A metaphor that is really common, so you've probably heard of it, but it's powerful. I like to use it. I use it myself. And that is to think of awareness or noticing or presence or the essence of who we are, our true nature, is like the blue sky. It is the space in which all experience, all circumstances, all thoughts, all feelings, all emotions arise. Now, the thinking, the feeling, the circumstances, the people in our lives, the events, they come and go. They change, and they're constantly changing. They're in flux. But the sky that holds the experience, that observes it, that witnesses it, that notices, that knows it, which is what we are, essentially, never changes. And it's always been there. And so thinking can be like a cloud passing through the sky. It's there and it doesn't affect the sky. The sky notices it and it doesn't change. The nature of the sky is as it always has been. So what doesn't change is that true essence of what we actually are. The thinking is what changes and comes and goes. So I want to take a minute to talk about how I will frequently refer to you and me and all humans as what we are, not who we are. Because if I were to ask, who are you? What is going to come forth is going to come from the mind. It's going to be a story. It's going to be a conceptual explanation of who you are. So listen to this. If I ask the question, what are you? Something else arises. Think about that. Actually, don't think about that. Feel into that. What are you? And the sense of being, of aliveness, of the noticing, the awareness, that's what comes from that question, what are you? So when we become less identified with, and again, we're not trying to say that we're not our thinking, that we're not this body and this personality that we've constructed. We're not trying to say that we're not that. We're just saying that it's not the whole truth of what we are. What we are is so much bigger than that. And when we become less identified with the thought-created personality, persona, this identity that we've mistaken to be our true essential nature, when we become even just a tiny bit less identified with that, there's so much freedom and so much possibility. Because that persona requires some upholding. And boy, that takes a lot of energy. So I just love kind of noticing thinking and realizing that I don't have to believe it and it's not the whole truth of who I am. And when I feel into that, then all of a sudden so much more becomes possible. So there's a question that I'm going to pose here. If you're not the voice in your head, then what are you? Now, that's not a question that really I intend for you to have an answer to. It's just something to see what feeling arises from it. So, thank you for being here today. And as we close, I just want to remind you that you're not broken. There's nothing that needs fixing. And I'm so happy that you joined me today. And I look forward to being with you in our next episode. With much love. Namaste. Thank you for listening to Identity Matters. I hope you found this episode insightful. If you're ready to delve further into this journey of self-discovery and uncover your innate wholeness, I invite you to consider one-on-one coaching with me. Together, we can explore the unique challenges and opportunities in your life or your business or both. And through that exploration, help you align with your true self. To learn more about my coaching services, visit drkathleenperry.com/services.